Hey there drone fans, Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's video, I'll show you two quick adjustments that you can make to the Mini SE to immediately start recording better and smoother footage. Now the Mini SE is an incredible drone. I've talked about it a lot in the channel. You can pretty much buy this drone, take it out of the box, charge up the batteries, put it up in the air, and capture some jaw-dropping footage. But over time, you'll start to notice some of that footage doesn't look quite natural, and it has to do with the way the gimbal moves, because we're analog creatures as humans. And what I mean by that is when you're moving your head to look at something, you don't start immediately, zip over there and stop. You basically spin up slowly to look over there at that particular area, and then slow down as you bring that scene into view. And we have to ramp up slowly, move across at a reasonable pace, and then slow down as we're getting to the end of the scene. Drones, on the other hand, are digital devices, so their tendency is to start quickly, move quickly, and stop quickly, which is unnatural to us. We definitely pick up on that. And the challenge is, with the gimbal, which is a stabilized gimbal inside the Mini SE, it's doing its darndest to keep that scene level and not move around. So the drone can move all over the place with the wind buffeting it, and that gimbal control system is going to actually keep that gimbal rock solid in the air. And when you're moving the gimbal, which is what you're recording through, you really only have two planes of movement for the gimbal. You can't really move like this unless you're in FPV mode, so you're basically moving side to side like this, you're spinning, or you're looking up and down. Now, unfortunately, you have no control of gimbal movement side to side other than spinning the entire quad, because that gimbal is locked on first-person view out the front of the quad, but you do have control over it by spinning it. So you can spin the quad using the joysticks, and honestly, the joysticks give you a lot of control. So if you're careful and you spend a lot of time flying, you'll get really good at slowly ramping up that spin, moving at a reasonable pace, and then slowing it down at the end. So you can sort of make that buttery smooth movement in that horizontal direction. The problem with the vertical direction, or the pitch, is that it's really difficult with this tiny little wheel back here to get that same level of smoothness. And I've been flying a long time. It took me a really long time to get good at this. And I'm thinking there has to be a better way. Well, the good news is there is. So I can show you two adjustments that affect not only the pitch speed, how fast that gimbal moves up and down, or the lens moves up and down, but more importantly, the pitch smoothness. And that's the part that determines how quickly it comes up to speed and how quickly it slows down at the end of travel. And that's super important, because moving too fast is one thing, and you can kind of get used to that, but that starting and stopping in a digital way is not good. And again, we're analog creatures. We move stopped to slow to fast, and then slow again to stop. So we're slow ramping up and we're slow slowing down at the end. We pick up on that digital movement, and like robots are digital, right? So when you see a robot move, it's like this. We're not that way. We're humans, so we're slow to move around. We've got a very smooth, buttery view of the world. And it's a challenge because when you have a digital device like this, even though DJI has done a great job in smoothing out those movements side to side and up and down, there's some control over that, and I'm going to show you that now. So the pitch smoothness determines how it ramps up and how it slows down at the end, and the pitch speed is how fast it's moving. Now from the factory, DJI set that at pitch speed of 15, which I think is too fast. I think if you hit that wheel all the way, it's going to zoom down like that, and that's too fast. So I want you to back that off to 10. And the pitch smoothness, which is the bigger one, they've got set at 10, which is really close to 0. If you go down to 0, it's going to be like zing, it's going to move right into the movement. So you don't want to get too low on that. You want to go the other direction with pitch smoothness. So for me, I want to move pitch smoothness up to 20, and that gives me a bit of a delay in the start and a bit of a delay in the end. And the only analogy I can give you, and I've used this before in clips, is pretend it's a cold winter day and you're out in the lake and your friend's across the lake and you've got to run across this frozen lake to get to the other side. Well, you got to start running, and when you're running, your feet don't have traction right away. So you're going to run a little bit before you get traction and slowly come up to speed, and then you're going to book across the lake. And when you get close to the other side, you better stop. And when you stop, you're going to slide into the end of the lake. So you're ramping up slowly, you're at speed, and then you're ramping down slowly on the other side, and that's what pitch smoothness does. So my recommendation, and I'll show you how to change those in a second, is to set the pitch speed at 10. Bring it down from 15 to 10, and move the pitch smoothness from 10 up to 20, and that will give you some phenomenal video footage. Now, I'm going to show you now how you change those, and then I'll come back with some comments at the end. Start on the main menu of the DJI Fly application. Tap the three dots in the upper right-hand corner to bring up the main configuration screen. Next, choose the Control tab to access the gimbal menu. Tap the Advanced Gimbal Settings option, and here you can view and modify the speed and smoothness settings that control how the gimbal tilts. The Mini SE has the pitch speed set to 15 and the pitch smoothness set to 10 from the factory. You'll want to slow down the pitch speed to 10 and increase the pitch smoothness to 20 for a smoother and better video. Also, be sure to enable the upward gimbal rotation setting to allow you to tilt the gimbal up above the horizon for greater movement while flying. Okay, this first video is with the factory settings. So the speed is 15, smoothness is 10, which I think is too severe. So you can see immediately when I pitch down how quickly it starts, how quickly it moves, and how quickly it stops. And that's very unnatural for me. Now I can moderate that to a certain extent by backing off on the thumb wheel, but it's such a tiny little adjustment that has such a big impact that I wanted to smooth this out. In this clip, I've got the speed set to 10 and the smoothness to 20, and you can immediately see the difference. It slowly ramps up to speed. It moves down in pitch very slowly, very naturally, and then slowly stops at the end of it. So it's a very natural looking down as if you were in an airplane looking out the window, and you can move back up as well just with the same smoothness. And to me, that seems very, very natural. Okay, a couple of final comments now that you know how to change those settings. They're not going to be perfect for everybody. So for me, speed at 10, smoothness at 20 is the most natural footage I can have. And again, it's calibrated to my finger, which means I've gotten used to that setting, but I can jam that all the way over. It's going to slowly ramp up, come up to speed, and then slowly ramp down at the end, which is exactly what I'm looking for. But you may find a setting that works better for you. Maybe you're moving speed down to 8, smoothness up to 22, and that works for you. The key here is I wanted to expose you to those settings so that you can try the defaults that I've given you and then make adjustments to whatever feels natural for you, because the one tell for me when I'm watching videos on YouTube or somebody sent me a video to review is I can tell a new pilot from an experienced pilot, not so much in the way they pan, because again, you can get really good on the joysticks for spinning the quad slowly, but that pitch, that move down, when they're flying over something and then looking down, the new pilots tend to jam on that thumb wheel on the back and go down quickly, which is like immediate vertigo for most viewers. So making those adjustments will help you smooth that out. Now, if you've got adjustments that you like better, put those in the comments below and I'll go out and try them, because maybe you figured something out that I haven't. Maybe 25 is better for you and 8 is better for you on the speed. But anyway, I just wanted to give you the adjustments that you can make on the quad, and I feel like it really helps the video footage. And I love doing these kind of clips. So if you're finding value in them, like I say every time, we'll keep doing them. And if you haven't joined the Drone Valley family yet, hit that subscribe button down there, because we have so many more clips coming on drones. There's a lot of stuff coming on other high-tech gear, and I just love talking about technology. So again, thank you so much for your viewership. If you have needs for any accessories too, we have a Drone Valley website with tons of accessories for the SE, the Mini, all of the drones that are on the market today. If you need accessories and you buy them from us, we'll get them to you quicker than Amazon, and we stand behind everything we sell, and you'd be supporting the channel. So thanks again for your viewership. I hope you found value in the clip, and until next time, happy flying.